This conference will now be recorded.
Hi friends, good morning. In this Databricks Master Program, so in today's session we are going to talk about how to run Databricks jobs from CLI. Okay, not only understanding how to run Databricks jobs from CLI, today we are also going to understand Databricks file system. Suppose if you want to import some files, how you can import some of the files from your local system to the local system to, you can say, your Databricks file system. And I can say, like, suppose if you want to move files within a Databricks file system, how you can move. Yesterday you already have seen, right, how you can import, export. Those are notebooks, isn't it? So in the same way, today if we have any files in file system, what we can do, those files we can able to move from one place to another place. Okay, in the same way, if we have any file which is there in your local system, that particular file I want to move it into the Databricks file system, I can able to copy those things, I can able to move those things. Okay, so all those things we will see one by one how you can do. Next, we are also going to see how to install the libraries on your Databricks cluster. So these three things we are going to see today. So today we will talk about three things. One is first how to interact with the Databricks file system. That is also one of the very important concept. Second one is how to interact with your clusters. Okay, yes, we already have seen how to interact with cluster yesterday from the CLI, but today how to install the libraries on the cluster we are going to see. Final and third one is we are going to see how to create jobs in Databricks with the help of CLI. From CLI, I am going to create the Databricks jobs. These jobs, I am going to run it from the CLI. Okay. You can do all those things. We will see how to get list of folders in DBFS. Okay, suppose if you want to get all the folders which I have in the DBFS, Databricks file system. So how you can get those things? So you know how we will get in how we will get it in Linux. If you want to get all the folders, files, all that information from the root folder, what is the command you will use for that? ls. Very good. So here also you need to use same thing. Next, how to create folder in DBFS. How to create folder in DBFS. You remember yesterday we have used something called mkdirs. Same command we need to use today to create folder in DBFS as well. Yesterday whatever we have done all those things in workspace level. Today we are going to interact with the Databricks file system. If you want to list down all the folders files, you need to use ls. If you want to create any folder in the DBFS, you need to use mkdirs. Next, suppose if you want to copy, okay, if you want to copy files from local to the DBFS, I have some files in my local system. Those files I want to copy into Databricks file system. Yes, you can able to copy. Next, how to move files from one folder to another folder. Suppose within a Databricks file system, I want to move some of the files. How to move some of the files from one folder to the another folder. Then how to remove files from DBFS. Suppose if you want to remove files from DBFS, how you can remove. Okay. So then we will see how to remove folders from DBFS. If you want to remove folders from DBFS, how you can remove. Yesterday we have seen for removing the single file we have used RM. For removing all the files in a folder, we have used RM-R, recursively delete all the files which I have in a folder and then finally delete this particular folder. Okay, so these are the different commands we are going to issue for the file system. Then we will see how to install libraries. Okay, suppose PyODBC, that is the library I need TensorFlow. So maybe you need some other library. Maybe if you look at any XML, if you want to install XML files, if you want to read any XML file, or if you want to read Excel file, we need to install some libraries. Okay, those are not possible directly without installing library, right? So those things we are going to install, but without installing those things on cluster, suppose I want to install some of the libraries from notebook, how you can install, we will discuss. Then how to uninstall libraries. Okay, you installed it, now I want to uninstall, how you can uninstall. Then we are going to see how to create a job. I want to create some job in my Databricks. So how you can create, then how to run this particular job. Okay, how to run this particular job. These are the things we are going to discuss in today's session. Okay, fine. Let's start with the DBFS. See, Databricks. Okay, you know Databricks CLI means if you are interacting with the cluster, you have to say Databricks cluster. If you are interacting with the file system, Databricks FS. If you want to list down file system directories files, you need to use ls. Now I am saying fs ls dbfs :/tmp. What it means, in this particular folder, do I have any file subfolders? That particular list I want. Then you need to say ls specifically for this particular folder. Can you list down the content which is there in this particular folder? So if you simply not mentioning anything from the root, it will take. If you are specifying some folder, in this particular folder level, whatever content is there, it will display ls. Now if you want to create any directory, mkdirs, so what is the directory name? dbfs :directory name. Next, Databricks FSLS, same command. Okay, same command I am using. So what it will do, so now whatever directory we have added, that directory also it will show in this. Now if you execute ls command, whatever directories we have created, see I have created /cust, right? So this folder also it will show. Next, Databricks FS cp. Cp is basically for copying the data. So I want to copy data from desktop /post.csv to dbfs :cust. I have created a cust folder. Into this cust folder, I want to copy this courses.csv file. Okay, you can able to copy something like this. Next, fs.ls dbfs :/cust. Now what will happen? So in this cust folder, I copied this courses.csv file. That courses.csv file, it will display when you list down. Next, cat. I want to see the content which is there in this particular CSV file. If you want to see the data which is there in this CSV file, cat is the command. All Linux commands you can use. Okay. Next, Databricks FS MV. MV is basically for the move. Okay. So dbfs :/cust/courses.csv, dbfs :/cust2/courses.csv, meaning this particular file I am moving to here. So when you are moving, if you want to rename it, you can able to rename it. Okay, you know, right? Renaming, we are going to use the MV command in Linux also. Okay. dbfs :/cust/courses.csv, dbfs :/cust2/courses.csv. So from cust folder, I am moving the file into cust2 folder. Databricks FS RM, FS file system RM removing. I am removing which file? Courses.csv file will be removed. Now when I say dbfs :/cust-r, what it will do? It will delete this entire directory. Cust directory itself, it is going to delete it. Okay. Next, let's move on to the library. You see, so Databricks libraries install. Okay. So if it is a file system, we were saying Databricks FS, but now we are specific to the library. So Databricks library install. I want to install, but on which cluster? Cluster ID. So this is the cluster ID. Okay. So on this cluster, I want to install this beautiful soap 4. This is the one of the package that I want to install. So how to install -pip package. Okay. So whatever packages that you can able to install by using pip, you can install. Okay. If you want to get some of the packages from third party, that is not possible from the CLI. Okay. Next, Databricks library install -cluster ID. See here, just instead of beautiful soap 4, here I am saying TensorFlow. Next, PyODB, something like the same command. You can change the package name. Whatever you want to install, you can install. But if you want to install on a different cluster, you need to change the cluster ID. Exactly same. If you want to uninstall, you just have to say uninstall command. See, sorry. This is TensorFlow 1. What will happen if I give wrong name? If this particular package is not available, what will happen is it will fail to install. Remember, it will fail to install. Let's say now I want to uninstall. Same copy paste, same thing. Instead of install, you can say uninstall. Okay, same uninstall. Okay, instead of install, you just have to use uninstall if you want to install and uninstall any library. Next, so if you want to see all the libraries which we have installed, you can see Databricks libraries list. Okay. Next, so you want to see all the libraries which are installed on all the clusters. Okay, then you can see Databricks libraries all -cluster -status. Basically both will give the same result, but it is a very specific, right? So it will tell you all cluster status, meaning whether on cluster this particular package is installed or failed to install. That particular information you are going to get it. But same information you will get it by using list also. List is not saying like list name is not proper. Okay, but list will give the same output. It will tell you whether this package is installed successfully on this cluster or not. This package is installed on this cluster successfully or not. It will give same thing. I will show you all those things. Next, jobs. Databricks jobs create iPhone JSON file. So yesterday what we had done to create cluster, what we have done, we have like given entire JSON data as a string, but you can keep that entire JSON data in a JSON file. That JSON file also you can specify something like that, iPhone JSON file, jobs1.json. So in this jobs1.json, what I will include, I will tell you. Okay, but before that, once we have created the job, it will give this some job ID. Okay, once we have a job ID available, what you need to do, if you want to run that particular job, you can say Databricks jobs run now. If you want to run immediately, if you want to schedule, you need to schedule it. Okay, Databricks jobs run now job ID 5. So job ID 5 I want to run. Okay, job ID 5 I want to run. So this jobs1.json file, this JSON file will contain this information. Okay, on which cluster it should run. Name is new job cluster. New cluster is Spark version is this. Node type is this. Number of workers is 0. Timeout seconds is 3600. If my job is failed, I want to retry one more time. Max retries is equal to 1. Notebook task. Okay, what it has to do, this is the notebook it has to execute. This notebook is required. Input, which input this notebook required? Name widget we need to pass, name equal to Ramakrishna. This data we need to pass it to the, sorry, this is the input we need to pass it to this particular notebook. What is my notebook name? Jobs. Okay, so that's how we need to create the job and we need to run it. Okay, let's see now. Okay, these are the slides I have. Let's quickly create the Databricks workspace.
Hey Malaya, quick question. So Malaya,
Right.
so for DBFS, you listed some commands like Databricks, FS, LS. So earlier, what's the difference between using dbutils versus Databricks command? Is there any difference?
dbutil commands is those you are going to execute from the notebook. Okay, those you cannot execute from the CLI. These are CLI specific commands.
Got it. Okay. And other question is like, so is there any way to find the list to know all the list of the packages names basically, because without knowing the package name, how can we install it?
So those things it is not possible from CLI. But see, first thing is you have in package there are thousand of packages. So if they list down all those things, for you to search, it will take a lot of time. Okay, so you need to have a basic idea what package you are looking for. That particular package you can get it from Google or something. Okay, so then you can able to find out what is the exact name in Databricks by googling it, right? So later, so you can try to understand from here. Okay, but it is very difficult if they, even though if they display all the packages, selecting one package out of all those, it's difficult. Okay, fine.
Hey, Malaya, one more question. Malaya, these libraries that you install, it is going to be user specific or it is server specific? Can other
Those are
users?
cluster specific, so whoever is using cluster, they all can use those packages. Whoever is submitting their jobs on a particular cluster, all those people can able to use that particular package.
So if I install one of the package, then the other person needs to install it, right?
Yes, they can. They no need to install. They can use it.
Okay, I understand.
If I have to run a notebook from CLI, if it is a Scala, should I provide with an extension .scala, and if it is a Python, if I have to put .py, is that correct?
I have not mentioned anywhere .py .json. You see here.
But I see that on your presentation there is .json.
That is my configurations. I need to provide in a JSON format. JSON file. This is a JSON file. It's not a Python file for Python language, right? Even though Python, whether it's Python, CLI, you need to give all these job details in a JSON format, JSON file format. Okay.
Okay, so the end result will be always JSON. That is what you are saying.
Yes, yes,
Is that correct?
Right. Yes, yes, you are right.
And Malaya, if I want to use the existing cluster, what we need to write here?
For existing cluster, what you need to do is you need to, yeah, I did not remember exact commands. So what you need to do for existing cluster is, for existing cluster, I think there is another configuration. I will share it with you. You just try those things. Okay. So I did not remember, but you see, these configurations will change. That's all. Only this configuration will change. So see here, I'm just setting up the cluster on which my job should run. So what is my job? Notebook task. This task is running on this particular cluster. This is basically new job cluster, new cluster I'm creating. But if you want to use existing cluster, that is possible. You can able to create it. So I will tell you how you can use that. Okay.
Okay. Another thing, Malaya. So how we in CLI we cannot give the dependencies and everything, right? Run this job after this job, something like that. Can we do like that?
So those things it is not possible here.
Okay.
So that's
so we need to manage the notebooks. Just call this notebook after this notebook, something like that.
Correct. That's how you can able to do. Doesn't matter from where you are executing job, but that particular thing you can do it within a notebook.
Okay.
That sequence you have to define within a notebook. Okay. It's not specific to any UI or CLI. Okay. Fine.
Do we have a documentation of these libraries and package, Databricks documentation or Google documentation?
Can you come again, Mishra?
Yeah, do you have a documentation, the list of all the list of packages of the libraries which one can go and search?
Now that's what I mentioned. So you cannot list down all the packages which are available because there are n number of packages. Okay, so as per your requirement, you need to understand which package to install. I will show you those things. You will come to know. I will show you today itself if possible. So when I will open a UI and I will show you those things. Okay. So how many packages we have, then you will come to know what. Okay, some idea. Okay, fine, friends. Let me just quickly start with creating the Azure Databricks first. Okay, click add to create the Azure Databricks. Clear, Mishra? I will show you now.
Yeah.
The subscription is there. So let's create a resource group. I can say cloud funding Databricks. Click OK. To workspace name, I can say cloud funding DB. Click press create. Yes. Validating. So validation first you can see it. Okay. So meanwhile you can see I just okay. So let me close, right? So let's open your command prompt again. Okay, so I want to see whether yesterday I have installed the Databricks CLI, right? So whether that Databricks CLI is available or not, I want to know. How I will know? Anybody remember? How can we know? Databricks. You just have to say Databricks. From your system, can you try with the Databricks? It will throw error command not found. But in my case, it is not throwing that error. It is saying all the possible things: clusters, FS, file system, jobs, libraries, runs. So you have all these things. Okay, token, workspace. Okay, so all these things it is saying. What it means is my Databricks CLI is already installed. Now I need to configure. For configuring my workspace, what I need to do? Databricks configure. So I don't know what to do next. -H. If you don't know something, -H. Okay, these are the things. Now Databricks -. So for configuring, we discussed -T, or if you use the token. Anything will work. -T, which is very simple for us. So then it will ask you to enter Databricks host name, that is URL. Then you need to enter the token ID. Both the things I need to enter. Remember, both the things I need to enter. But you see, for now, still it is creating. Meanwhile, I'll just quickly explore all the options which we have in workspace file system level. Okay, Databricks FS-H file system, isn't it? See here, cat is basically show the content of a file. Okay, next configure is same, whatever you have done you can do it, fs configure file system, but you no need to worry about that. Next, copy files to and from DBFS. Okay, ls list files in DBFS. Suppose if you want to list down mkdirs, make directory in a DBFS. mv, move a file between two DBFS paths. Okay, see, you need to move the files only between the two DBFS paths, not from your local to the DBFS. Okay, that is not good. Next, rm is basically remove files from DBFS. Suppose if you want to remove, suppose if I want to remove entire directory, rm-r you need to use, so that you can remove that particular directory. So before you delete the directory, what we need to do is we need to delete the entire content of the directory. That is possible. Okay, fine. Now you see Databricks workspace is ready. Just click on go to resource. We know already how to configure. First click on launch workspace. Fine. Now just click on what we need to do first. Let's connect to the Databricks workspace from CLI. For that, what we need to do, we need to use exactly this one, configure -T, isn't it? Enter. Now it will ask you to enter Databricks host. Come to the resource here, you can see URL. Take this URL. This is your Databricks host. Okay, enter. Next to token. How to get the token in Databricks workspace? Click on this. Click on user settings. Generate new token. You can say it's a password, something like this. So how many days it should be valid? So you can say simply some 30 days or 90 days. You can increase 360 days. Okay, 1000 days. You can give as many days. Okay, this is basically a token. Okay, copy this token. Now I'll just to paste the token here and enter. Okay, now let's see Databricks Databricks FSLS. Databricks icon results, but some more folders will come up soon. Okay, some of the folders still yet to come up, so those things will be available. Now what I will do, I'll just create a cluster from the UI. Okay, click create cluster. Yesterday we have created from CLI. Today I'm just creating from the UI. Okay, it's a single node. We discussed all these things. Just click create cluster. Okay, let me just configure to 60 minutes. 60 minutes of inactivity means if you are not submitting any job on this cluster for 60 minutes, cluster will be terminated. Okay, now you see, Mr. You are asking questions, right? How to understand the packages, all those things. Come to library. Now, if you want to install, just click on install new. From the UI I'm showing now. Okay, so you can have a different ways, right, to get the package. PyP package, if you know, just give it. If you want to get some third-party package, okay, from Maven, you want to get some package, right? Just click search packages. These are Spark packages, but if you want to get the package Spark packages from the Maven Central, you can see here so many packages will come. So you can see here, suppose Excel. See so many packages for Excel. Suppose I need XML. Okay, see so many XML packages. Next, PyODBC. So PyODBC is not there. What is the reason for this? Because PyODBC directly, it's a Python package which you can directly get it from the PyP. Okay, PyP. Suppose if I go here, okay, if I say PyP, PyODBC, okay, it will install without any error, because you need to understand from where to. Suppose you have a jar file, somebody has implemented. See what is library package, all of these. Why we are doing this? Because we need to write a logic That logic, instead of writing by us, we have implemented, somebody else implemented this logic, and those people kept it in Maven, PyP, and so somewhere else. Maybe your friend has shared some jar file. He has written all the logic for you, and you just have to use that logic in your code. Okay, you have a jar file available in your system. You can just upload that and you can use it in your code. We will see all those things, how to use these things. Okay, but you see here in Maven, if you look at, so many packages will be there. Okay, based on your requirement, if you search, there are a lot of packages will have here, but you need to tell for which you are searching. Let's say if I search for Avro, basically for Avro you don't need to search, but see, for Avro files we have different. Okay, for Excel we are done. It's a TensorFlow something. See, so many. Okay. Likewise, you will have a many packages. You need to decide which one to select. Okay, how to decide these things out of all these things, I will tell you. Okay, based on your cluster configuration, you need to select these things. I will discuss those things.
So coming to libraries side, I do see that in, TensorFlow in Maven as well as in the PyPy. So what is the difference between those two?
TensorFlow is here.
Yeah.
TensorFlow, if you have here, so you can use any of these.
Okay.
So I will tell you the reason for, wait. See, in TensorFlow, if you're selecting from Maven, you have something called release. Maybe some improvements they have done, and you can use the latest one if you want. But you want previous one. So current package is not compatible. Some issues you have noticed. You want to go with previous one, you can go. But when you go with PyP and install it, it will always install the latest version, latest release. Okay.
Okay. So using
is there
Maven,
any language dependency? Like PyPy is in Python, only program can use it. For Maven, can be Scala or anything.
You can install packages from anywhere. Yeah, PyP means it's basically specific to Python.
Okay. Okay.
Maven means it's a central repository. So for any language, you can able to find the packages here.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. Kanaka, clear?
Yeah, Malaya, and we can download in notebook also, right? I think you mentioned last week, right? Last week, dbutil.library install, right?
Yes, yes. dbutil commands we have used to install, right? So that is also you can able to.
Okay.
Yeah, I got
that
it.
Would be within, okay.
Yeah, Malaya, what is that CRAN?
CRAN. So I have not used this, but I'll just check and let you know.
Yeah,
This is another
package. I think our package. CRAN is like for our studio. Yeah, it's a package.
See here, suppose if you have uploaded some package, you want to install that, you can able to select those things from your notebook. Yeah, maybe CRAN for R, but I have not used that anywhere. Yeah, I'll just look into it and let you know. But yeah, so for now, just remember for R, as Rashmi has some idea, she told, right? So I'll just look into it and let you know if you need. Okay. Pipe is specific to your Python. Okay, but CRAN, as Rashmi told, I am not 100% sure if it is specific to R, but Maven is specific. It's not specific to any language. It's a central repository for any language. You can get the packages. Okay, DBFS, upload, all these things basically to upload your package which you got it externally. Maybe it can be scale up package, it can be Java, it can be or any package that you got it from externally. Those things you can able to upload here. Okay, clear?
What is Maven? Like, if you can give some idea, like, because I'm just getting little.
If you are in any development, so anytime if you see this package is not installed, people will come to Maven and they will install because it's a Maven central. So all the packages for any development, whether it is a web application development, whether it is for example for you are Java developer, you are implementing some framework, so you need some package, you can get it in a Maven Central, because whatever packages available for software, 99.99% packages you can able to find it in a Maven, because it's a central repository where all software packages will be maintained. Okay, centralized library. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Okay.
Okay. So if you don't know Maven, then you need to understand this. This is because this is commonly used repository for any development. Okay, fine. Now you see we have a cluster running. Now come here. Now I will issue same command fsls. Now you see extra like tmp Databricks -results. Okay, you are getting this. Now what I want to do, I want to create my own directory. mkdirs dbfs:/cust is the directory I'm creating. Okay, let's list down now again. You got cust or not? Yes, we got the cust. Okay. Now I also will create.
Can you see this in UI?
Yes, I will create one.
Oh, okay.
Cust. Okay. Now let's list down. See cust2. I have two folders. Now go to data, click create table, go to DBFS. You will see file store cust2 TMP. Okay, clear?
Okay.
Now what we will do, we will try to move some data into cust folder. Okay, we will try to move some data into my cust folder. How to move data into cust folder is, let me see any CSV file I have. Okay, source data.csv. There is a file called source data.csv. Let me just take this. Okay, this is the path, right? Let me just take this path. You just have to take from desktop, but actually source data.csv file I should have. Now what I want to do, I want to copy this particular file into my DBFS, right? So fs, you need to say cp desktop, isn't it? Desktop / I just copied that, just paste it. Okay, this is the file. This file I want to move it into dbfs:/cust folder. Okay, so before I run this, I just wanted to show you. Go inside cust folder. You see you don't have anything. See, you are inside cust, you don't have anything. I'm just running this. Okay, now you come here. See, source data.csv file came on now. Now, if you want to see the content of this, okay, if you want to see the content of this, or if you want to list down the content, let's say ls in dbfs:/cust. It's in cust folder what we have. From here, if you want to list down, you can list down. See, source data.csv file we have. Now I just want to see the data. Then what you need to do, cat. You need to use a cat. Okay, /cust/ you can say, what is the source data.csv? Source data.csv. Okay, enter. See, this is the data I have in this. Okay, this is the data I have in this. If you want to open this file, let's open this file and see whether the content is same or not. Let's click on source data.csv. See, I have this data. You understand? I have this data, same data is coming. I don't know how I kept single quotes.
Malaya, is there any way that I can see only first two records in that file? Is there any way?
So from these commands, it is not possible. Cat will give you everything, but if you want to filter out later, maybe this result, I'm not sure this will work or not. We have, what do we have? Top command. No? I did not remember those Linux commands also. But if you want to filter these things, you can write a logic for that. But
Do a
here,
head -2.
yeah, something like that.
Can we use limit to?
minus.
Limit to?
So those things are,
It is not allowing.
Might be the reason why I asked because Malaya, because if the file size is huge, if we open it may take a lot of time. That's what I
Sometimes
yeah,
it's
you were
also
right.
open.
In that case,
Can we use limit to?
We can do a data frame quickly and see, right? Easy option.
those things you can do it in notebook, right? Yeah, type bench once. Okay. So if you want to see only few records, that is correct. But let's say, okay, let's do one thing. We will try to copy very huge data file. Okay, we'll see. I don't think it is going to show everything. It has some limit. Okay, cat has some limit which is going to show some data like top 100 records or top 20 records. There is some limitation already.
yeah
But
might be in the show command it shows only 20 records in data frame. Might be that would also be the reason. Yeah, you're
yeah,
right. Maybe let us see.
that is what. Let's try to understand. Let me just copy same records multiple times here. Okay, this is the file. I'll just rename it as on desktop. Okay, I'm just calling it as a cloudpandit.csv file. I'll just use same copy command. Okay, this time on desktop I have a cloudpandit.csv. Okay, this file I'm just moving into the first same folder I'm moving. Okay, sorry, I'm copying. It's copied. Let's shut down content. Okay, so it's basically a cloudpandit.csv. Looks like it is showing everything. One second. Cat -h configure cat show the content of a file. Okay, so but if we have a very huge file, you are right. So I want to limit the result. Limit will not work here. Okay, I know it will not work. So it is not available. No, I'll just check this. Okay, one second. Otherwise, let me quickly check this now.
This head -n and the number of record you want to see.
What Rashmi? You pasted something?
Yeah, it says head -n and the number of records.
Oh, okay. But head itself, it is saying that there is no head, right? Head.
No, head -n and -n, like number of records you want to see, and
See, head
then
itself, it is not saying it is available. It is not available. Let's say something is there saying. Oh, see, these are Linux commands which are not working. Okay, so yeah, I'll just look into these things. Let me note down all the things. Cat and pran. These two things we need to look into.
One more quick question is like when you created those directories, right? There is one more directory already was showing up Databricks results, but that is not showing in the UI.
The
What
file
is this?
store, file store, it is not showing. That is the meaning. File store is the default one. Okay, so that is the
Okay.
meaning of this one. Okay, yeah.
I actually didn't get that. Sorry for asking again. Um,
Which one?
go back to your UI.
1 second.
Yeah.
See, initially when you do it, it will give that result, but later it may give the actual name, because previously when you just create the Databricks workspace, it will show this result. Okay, Databricks results.
Oh.
It is showing all the things, all the possible things. This is different, I think. This is giving some other things. Okay, fine. I'll just look into those things. Let's not waste any time. Okay, now if you list down, it may give those things. But let me just see. But initially, what happens if you just when you create this Databricks workspace, you see, okay, oh, Databricks results.
Your screen is moving. I actually seeing a freeze screen, frozen screen.
yeah, same here now.
Oh, okay. Okay, now it's moving. Okay.
Okay, fine. 1 second, let me just say. You understood, resource does not exist, message no file or directory does not okay, directory exist. Okay, so the reason I will tell you why it is showing like this. So when initially you see initial commands, whatever we executed, if you see there, it was not showing file store. Okay, because before it generate that particular folder file store, by default it will keep something called Databricks results folder. Okay, whatever you have. Okay, Databricks results. See, previously it was not showing file store. Previously it was showing results Databricks results. But later, after creating the cluster, if you wait some time, so all the backend process will be ready. So in this case, what it is showing is it is showing file store. When it is showing file store, if you look at Databricks results, it is saying no file or directory exists. Okay, maybe in later sometime if you try to list down the content, that folder may vanish, but you no need to worry, that is not exist. Okay, you can see here no file or directory exist. Okay, clear? Now you see, let's go with file store.
Okay.
Tables, we have a tables. Okay, if you click on file store, we have a tables. Okay, inside tables we don't have, so even if you list down, you will not have anything, you will not be able to see anything. Clear?
Okay. Yeah.
So that is not exist, but you will be able to see Databricks results folder when you created the Databricks workspace. Immediately come to data and click create a table and see here at the DBFS, you will see something called Databricks results. Okay, that you will see at the initial stage. Okay, fine. Now we will look into that, how to like limit the result of that. But 100% you can able to achieve it by using a notebook. Okay, from CLI we need to see whether is there any possibility or we don't have any possibility on this. Okay, I'll just look into it and let you know. Next, let's see moving the file. Moving file from this cloudpandit.csv file. I want to move from this first to the first to the first to slash cloudpandit dot not CSV. Okay. So before I run, let's go into custody folder. If you don't have anything, let me just run this now and enter. File is moved. Okay. Now you see, click on custody. So file came. Move means that file will not be available in the custody. Move means cut. It's kind of a cut and paste. You just removed here, you like pasted here. So you cutted here and you are pasting here. Okay, that is the move. Okay, clear. Anything is pending that we have not discussed. F-H. Yeah, we need to look at the remove, right? So I want to remove the file. Okay, let's say I want to remove this Cloud Pandit. Cloud Pandit is not available. Now we have a source data.csv. Source data.csv file which I have. See FSRM source data.csv in a cust folder. Let's click on cust folder and see source data.csv file I have. Let me just run it. It will be removed. See, delete finished successfully. So file is gone. Now I want to delete this entire directory itself, cust to directory itself. Okay, what you need to do for that, you just have to say cust to -r. Okay, execute it. Delete finish successfully. See, cust to folder is gone. Cust to folder is gone. You understand? So completely we deleted the folder. Okay, now let's go with the libraries. See, you click on this cluster, go to libraries. You see you don't have any libraries installed. But now I want to install the library. Okay, let's try to install the IODBC library on this, and how it will install we'll see. But I want to get the Databricks clusters list. Databricks I found clusters list. Just execute it. So why I have listed down to get the cluster ID. So because we need to have a cluster ID to install the library. Okay, fine. Now you see Databricks. I want to install what? You know, right? -H if you don't know something. Okay. See here you have libraries. Okay, you just have to use this. Databricks libraries. Databricks libraries. Now what we need to do? We need to install. So you need to say install. Okay. Databricks libraries install -cluster -id. You remember yesterday we have used cluster ID and a cluster name. Anything you can use. But what is the cluster ID? We just have taken this is the cluster ID. Okay, you just copy paste. Okay, this is the my cluster ID. Now I need to tell what I need to install by using a package. You need to say your package name. What is your package name? PyODBC. Okay. What happened? So there is no error. Okay, let's come back. You need to refresh. Go back and come here. You see PyODBC is installed. Now come here. Let's say tensor. Enter. So now come here. So it will not refresh if you are at this particular option itself. You go there and come back. See TensorFlow, it is installing. Now come here. Now let's try to uninstall PyODBC.
Malaya, what is PyD?
What?
What is PyP? It's a repository like Maven or?
No, it's a Python related packages. If you want to install, how we have a pip install, right? So in the same way, if you want whatever packages you are installing by using pip install, so same all those packages if you want to install here, you can use the PyP package. Okay, PyP package you can use to install the all Python related packages. That's what we were discussing, right? As of now. So PyP, it's specific to the Python. Maven is a central repository, doesn't matter. It's not specific to any language. All the Java, .NET, any language packages will be available. All languages packages will be available at this particular place, Maven Central. Okay. CRAN, I need to look into it. I will tell you. But if you have any jar files, okay, any other packages which you have downloaded, you want to install. First, you need to upload it to here. Then you need to select from which path you have uploaded. So then once you select that particular path, you can install it.
Yes, good.
Okay. Now let's say uninstall. I want to uninstall simply. So you can say uninstall. So which one? TensorFlow I am uninstalling. So on same cluster. See, warning, uninstalling libraries requires a cluster restart. Databricks clusters restart. So this is the, so what it is giving is, it is giving basically CLI command to restart, but I don't want to restart at this time. But we'll see what will happen if you're not restarting. Nothing will happen, but this package still it will show here. If you restart this cluster, this package will vanish because it is showing something uninstall pending restart, right? So what will happen? This is uninstalled. But if you want to remove this particular package from this particular UI, you need to restart the cluster. Okay. Now, in the same way, I want to uninstall the PyODBC. Execute. Okay, database cluster restart. This is the cluster ID. Now you see uninstall pending restart. Okay. Suppose you want to uninstall, you can able to uninstall that. Sorry, if you want to restart, see, this is the command you can use to restart. But if you restart again, it will take some time. I don't want to install. Okay, clear? Any questions here? Let's see. Now I forgot to tell you one thing. Let's say Databricks library install. Again, I am installing the PyODBC package. Okay, I am again installing the PyODBC package. We'll see what will happen in this case. See, PyODBC is again installed. I will tell you the reason for this. If you look at this, okay, Databricks library is -h you see here. It is, see, install, uninstall we have seen. Now I want to list. Okay, so all cluster status or cluster status. List is a shortcut to all cluster status or cluster status. Let's see, let's list down. It will tell you all the libraries which we have installed. So there is a PyODBC package. Status is installed. Is library for all clusters? No, it's for a specific cluster we have installed. We have not installed PyODBC for all clusters. Library, next library is we have installed TensorFlow. The status is uninstalled on restart. Okay, once we uninstall, it will vanish basically. It is already uninstalled, but once we restart, this particular data it will not display. Only we have done these two, so it will show these two only. Okay, even if you use something like this, all cluster status or all cluster status, it will give the same result. It will give the same result, you can see. Okay. Okay. Even if you are trying with this, cluster status -cluster -id. So for particular cluster, I want to see, okay, what is my cluster ID? My cluster ID is this, the cluster ID. Take this cluster ID, give it here and enter. See, it is specific to one cluster. It is specific to one cluster. Cluster status means if you say all cluster status, this is basically on all the clusters which you have in your workspace. You can have a multiple clusters on all cluster status. You are going to get it.
So how many clusters can we install within a workspace? Is there any limit or?
There is no limit. You can have as many as you want.
So Malay, how to install a package on all the clusters basically?
Okay, so all the clusters, if you want to install from here, see, I will tell you from UI very simple option. So let's say you have PyODBs, okay? Just select this. No, don't select. Just click on PyODBs. This is the package you want to install on all the cluster. Just click on this. You have something called install automatically on all cluster. If you select this, it will install on all the clusters automatically. Okay, this is the easiest option that you can able to follow. Okay. Yeah. So
One
here
more
if you
question.
And Malaya, other question. So in real world, if we have all the options in the notebook, why people will use this CLI? Because we are not automating anything right here. It's not like an actual job scheduler, right?
Okay, I will tell you one thing. This is just an option for you. Okay, but I have never seen people who are using this CLI.
Okay.
Okay, but that's why even I don't have much experience. I just explored myself and giving you this knowledge. That's why I was like confusing with few things because I never worked with the CLI. But why I am giving knowledge, because tomorrow in your client or somewhere if you are started using this, you should not confuse, because whatever I told, I thought of everything. That's
I
why.
understand that, but I'm just trying to understand in real world if we can do everything through notebook, why what we are doing here.
Yes, yes. So everything we are going to do it in a UI itself, because you see how much easy it is for you to install. Very simple. Install PyP. Just give the Py package, install it. It will install. If you want to install on all clusters, click on this. Click install automatically on all clusters.
But we cannot create the actual notebook here, right? Through CLI, we cannot create a notebook, right?
That's what I told, right? So there is the limits here also. We cannot create notebooks, all those things.
Okay, got it.
Okay, let's see how to create a jobs. Okay, see, come to job. I want to schedule some notebook. Okay, let's click on this workspace. Click create notebook. I can say this is basically cloud funded demo. Okay, create it. Now in this, I'll just create a one widget. Okay, dbutils dot widgets dot text. This is basically, I'll say name. I'm going to give the name. Okay, so I need to read the name as well, right? So name equal to, you can say username equal to, you can say here, instead of text, we discussed this, you don't confuse. See, all this code you cannot write it from CLI, isn't it? So that's how we won't use CLI much. Now I just say good morning username. Good morning username. Okay, just attach to this cluster. Okay, if you want to run it, you just try to run it and see, it will just give the widget. You just say Ramakrishna. Okay, now you run it. It will say simply good morning Ramakrishna. It will just run all. Say good morning Ramakrishna. So this same notebook I want to run it from my Databricks CLI, right? So how to create jobs, right? Now you see. I'll first create some JSON file. Cat myjson.json file. Okay. Yes, sorry. VA, right? VA. JSON.json. Okay, enter. One second.
You are in Windows, right?
Hold it. 1 second. Hyphen job1.json. So I think I need to say something like this. Databricks jobs vm myjson.json. Okay. So
Now you have to create .sh file, right? I mean,
one second. Wait. It's not as such. I can just keep this particular JSON file in my local system. So it's okay. Yeah. Just take this. Okay. Job1.json. See this job1.json. I'll just save it in my desktop or somewhere. Let's try to save this. Okay. Or if you want to keep this in a Databricks file system, we can able to refer it here when we are creating the job. We can able to refer it from the Databricks file system. So I'll just quickly show you. You see here, I am saying Databricks jobs create -JSON -file job1.json. So this JSON file is available exactly at the location from which I am submitting this command. Okay, but this job1.json file is available in your DBFS file system. You can just have to refer that particular path. You just have to refer that particular path. Okay, just give me 2 minutes. Now, so let's do one thing. What we do is, let's come here. Okay, this is the JSON file, right? Okay, fine. Cancel this. Now you see this is the JSON data. Okay. First, let's prepare these things. Okay, so this is the my cluster configuration. Timeout second is this. This is everything is fine. Now I need to pass the notebook path. How to pass the notebook path? So just click on this workspace, Chrome. Now go to this workspace, click on this notebook. You see something will copy file path. I just copied. Come here. You just paste this here. Okay, I just pasted here. Base parameter is name. Name I'm just calling it as a Ramakrishna. Okay, this is the my JSON content. Let me save this content as save as. I may do it in a desktop. I'll just keep it in a desktop. Okay, just will do my job dot my job.json. Okay, save it. So I saved where you see on desktop. Okay, let's try to create a job now. Okay, let's try to create a job, and this time what we will do is we will just try to refer the JSON file in our local system. Okay, so I can say jobs. What we need to create -JSON file. Okay, here you need to tell your desktop / my job where we upload it. Okay, let's see. Next my job.json. Let's run it and see will it create a job or not. Let's go to jobs. See, job ID 1 is created. You understood? So this particular JSON file I kept it in my local system. Job ID 1 is created. Okay, this is the job which is created. Okay, you just click on this new job. Okay, so here you see this is the job created. Sim name Ramakrishna I'm passing. Cluster is this. Click edit. So it's a new job cluster. Suppose if you want existing all-purpose cluster when you are configuring from UI, this is very easy. But from CLI also you can able to do, but you need to change the configurations. Okay, but now you see you understood this job is running on a new job cluster. Try to understand this job is running on a new job cluster. Okay, now this job is just created. I want to run this particular job. Okay, I want to run this particular job. If you want to run this particular job from UI, very simple, just to click on new job. Okay, you have something called run now. Okay, You just click run now. Okay, that is what you need to do. Same run now. If you want to do it, you need to come here. You can say here, just see. You see here, you have something called run now, right? So you need to use the run iPhone now. But you need to tell which job you want to run. iPhone job ID okay, equal to 1. Okay, because I have job ID 1 which I want to run. Now just enter. Okay, run ID is 1. So for this job ID, first run is started. Run ID 1 is created. See, it is green mark. Green mark means it is running. Just click on this to see the runs. See run 1. Here you can see run 1. So what it is? Can you tell me what it is? Basically, what it is? It is a job cluster. It will take some time to run. It is a job cluster. It will take some time to run. But one more, it got failed. You see why it got failed? I will tell you, because we have a limit in our free subscription. We have some limitation. We cannot take more than one computer, one system. Okay, that is the problem. Okay, what it will do, just click on jobs once again. Click on this job, come down. So go to logs. It's not showing. Click on this job. Yeah, failed. Just click on failed. See, it will tell you the reason is, you see, operation could not be completed as it results in exceeding approved total regional course quota. Additional details: deployment model, resource manager, location is 2S, current limit is 4, current usage is 4. I am already using those 4 cores, but I requested for additional 4, which I cannot able to get it under a free subscription. That's why I got the error. But if you don't want to get that error, you need to delete this particular cluster. Okay, terminate this cluster. Okay, I just terminated. Oh, sorry, you just delete it. Don't terminate. Okay, just delete this. I just deleted. I want to run the same job. Okay, if you run same job, this time it will create run ID 2. Why it will create run ID 2? Run ID 1 is already failed. Run ID 3, I think. Okay, can you tell me why run ID 3 is created? Okay, I will tell you this, and from this, right, you see something like max retry equal to 1. Automatically, even though first time it got failed, second time it will try automatically with run ID 2. When I run job ID 1 again, it will generate run ID 3 automatically. Now you see, let's see all those 3 runs. Click on new job. See 3 runs. This is the first run, run ID 1. This is the run ID 2. It's a by retry scheduler. Automatically, scheduler will try to run the failed job. Okay, but run ID 3 also failed because we need to wait some time. Once it is permanently deleted from your workspace, you can able to run your job. Okay, let's try to submit once again, same job. Okay, run ID 4, refresh automatically. Run ID 3, see that's why it got failed. It will take some 4 to 5 minutes. Okay, because it has to create the cluster, then it has to run.
Quick question: why it didn't do by retry scheduler for number 4?
By
For number 4.
For number 4, no, it will do. It will do. Don't worry, it will do. See, for 3 it is doing this, right? For 4 also it will come. It will do it.
No,
okay?
but for 3 it is doing in the 4 run, right?
No, this order you are confusing. Don't confuse. Okay. So that it will retry automatically. See, retry by retry scheduler. Understood? For 3, yeah. This is the retry 5.
Yeah. Probably, if we Malaya, if we click on run by, can we know for which job ID it is a rescheduler? Run 5 below it. So probably that would sort it out for which job ID it is a rerun scheduler. Yeah, job ID 1.
No, job ID means we have only single job. We have a single job. Whenever you run this job, let's say when you run first time, run ID is 1. What will happen? So if it is failed, it will run once again. 2. Next 3. Okay, 3 you are going to run it. Okay, 3 you have done it manually. So when 3 is failed, so fifth ID it generated. But your question is why not 4, isn't it?
Yeah.
Is that your question?
I think for capturing it took some time. That's why I think it got jumbled up in this.
Before you get proper results and again it retry, you submitted your job again.
Right. Understood.
3 and 4 manual. For 3 retry is 5. For 4 retry is 6. Okay. Now let's try to submit job once again. Can you see run ID 7? Okay, here you see number in job ID is 7.
Is job ID is constant?
Job ID is? Yes.
Is job ID constant?
Yes, constant.
Okay.
Now this is also got failed, but we can able to run it. Do not worry. So we need to keep trying, because once the deleted cluster is permanently deleted, we can able to run the job. Okay.
The other question I have is job ID is allocated by Databricks, or should we provide the job ID?
Who has provided? We are not providing anything. Even job ID we have not provided, run ID we have not provided. Everything automatically it will generate by your Databricks. Scheduler will take it. Okay.
So that will be constant, right? Every day it will maintain the same ID.
Job ID
run
is
ID,
going
I know it will differ.
It is going to keep increasing. Understood? Job ID is going to be same, and run ID is going to keep it based on the number of retries.
Right. Okay.
Yes, run ID will keep increasing. Okay, job ID is going to be same. Why this is skipped? Anybody have any question? Because maximum we can able to run on a only like one job on our cluster. Okay, only we need to give concurrency. So if we give high concurrency, we can able to run multiple jobs on same cluster.
No, but you have only ran one job, right? It's just the run is 11 times.
Yes, which is
no
already running. Same thing, I'm trying to run a one more job. So I'm keep on submitting, right? So retries it is executing, and again whatever I'm submitting, again it is trying to execute. So that is the
okay.
2 more retries should happen. So then I will just run the job once again. Okay, let's wait. So I will not leave this. I will show you, because it will work 100%. Okay, this is also finished. Now click on this. Let's give job ID 1. See, run ID is 12. Whatever we got, run ID 12 here. Let's see this time. I think it is working now. You see, it is taking more time, 20 seconds. None of the jobs waited for 20 seconds, right? So now this job is waiting, meaning now the job cluster is creating. Once job cluster is created, and it will run the job. See, now it is working. Why it is not working as of now? The reason is you have already cluster which is running, because you have some limitation. If you just click on this particular anything you just click, you will have that particular error message. Run results not available. See, skipping this run because okay, this is different. This is skip job. Let's click on failure. See here, operation could not be completed as it results in exceeding approved total regional core quota. So we have taken already whatever quota is allocated for us, we have taken all the quota. So that's why it is not able to allocate the more cores. So what we have done, we have removed the existing cluster which we have and we ran the job. Now the job is running. So how much time it will take? So this is what I was explaining. Every time you are creating the job cluster, so it will take lot of time. Suppose if you want to run your job for every 15 minutes, so your job is going to lose the 5 minutes of time every time. The reason is every time it is trying to create the new cluster. So instead of that, in those cases, whenever you want to run your job for every 15 minutes, in those cases, you go and launch you just go and execute your jobs on a existing cluster. Okay.
So Malaya, in real time, how do you identify jobs?
How I will identify a job? Here you can see job ID 1.
Okay.
So this job is basically job ID 1. So you know that, okay, job ID 1 means this. If something failed, job ID 1 failed means this job is failed. So you just click on this new job and you can see which notebook you configured. Okay, which notebook you configured here. So here you see parameter. This is the parameter notebook. This is the notebook Cloud Pandit demo. This is the parameters you are passing. You are not adding any libraries, and this is the cluster. Okay. Next you see if you want to send any alerts. Okay, you can just set retry limit 1x. All those things we will discuss in detail again. But you have all these options that you can able to try this.
Okay, so based on the job ID, unique ID, we are identifying which job it is, right, in the real time. Every job has its own number.
Every job is having
its own number and it will be unique.
Yes. See, now our job is running. It will see it is already succeeded. It is succeeded. Understood? It is succeeded. Now come here. It will come up soon. Okay, now you see it is succeeded. You understood this is succeeded and this took this much time. You just click on this run to see the output. Okay. See, this is the output. Good morning, Ramakrishna. Okay, it read the, so this is the widget, you read the data and you are displaying the output. Okay, this is a simple thing that I wanted to give because we have not discussed much coding, right? So that's why simple name I have passed as an input for our job. Okay. I know it will be little confusing for you with respect to CLI, but do not worry because CLI we won't use in real time mostly. If we are going to use something, so I have given some basic idea. So if you want to explore more, I will tell you how you can able to explore. I already explained you most of the stuff, right? So if you don't know something, you can simply have to take the help of Databricks-H. Okay, so it will tell you what you need to do. Understood?
Yeah, Malaya, do you have 2 minutes? Can we install PyDBC package to this job cluster? I mean, to this job. PyDB, I mean that package. Can we install?
PyODBC.
Yes, I mean because this is like automated cluster. Can we install on this cluster also and see?
I will show you on Saturday or Sunday. So anyhow, we are going to see it UI, right? So I will show you on Saturday. We no need to have a CLI for that, so I can show you at any time. I will show you on Saturday or Sunday.
It should be init something.
What init?
Means like for those kind of library installation, like for a job cluster, we can mention in those init scripts, right?
Init script you can mention, yeah, init file you can mention. Otherwise, you can directly attach those libraries here. You can say click add.
Okay.
You have already, like, let's say you have like downloaded that particular PyODBC and you have uploaded into your workspace in DBFS. You just have to mention the DBFS path. Okay.
Got it.
Malay, actually, in our environment, what we are doing is something like hello.
Which one?
In our environment, what we are doing is something like we are working mostly on jars. Maybe if you show in the form of jars, like it will be more helpful to us.
Yes, if you have a jar, you just upload the jar in DBFS and you need to refer that jar file here.
Okay.
What is your question? I did not get you.
No. We are developing jar in the form from IntelliJ. After developing jar from IntelliJ, we are just importing those jars to DBFS, and then we are calling those in jobs.
Okay. See, there are three ways. Somebody please be in mute, friends. My screen is not working. Otherwise, I can see. Fine. See, you can create a job with three things you can able to execute. See here, select a notebook. We just schedule notebook. You can schedule your jar file. You can submit your Python files. There are three possible ways. You can do anything. Okay. If you have any Scala Java files, those you need to execute through the jar. If you have a Python file, you need to execute through this. If you have a notebook, which can be in any language like R, SQL, Python, Scala, you can schedule those notebooks. Those things we will discuss. Whoever is asking, I don't know. Screen got stuck here. Understood? So maybe you are using jar files to schedule, isn't it?
Okay, Malaya. Understood.
Okay, then that's all for today, friends. Thank you all. Thank you.